Today I'm going to talk about how to have peace of mind, how to remain in peace always. It is absolutely possible to remain in peace. The Bible tells us that peace comes from God, and anyone who is going to remain in peace must be very intentional to remain in peace. The very first important thing to do to remain in peace is to watch your thoughts. Remaining in peace will happen by what you do intentionally every day. Every day you will have opportunities to get upset, get angry, or lose your cool. But a man or woman who will remain in peace is one who is intentional with his thoughts. The very first place to watch out for if you're going to remain in peace is to guard your thoughts. The Bible gives us so many instructions about what we do with our thoughts. Our thoughts are avenues where we can easily lose our peace by what we choose to think about and how we choose to think. The Bible says in Philippians chapter 4, verse 8, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is worthy of respect, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if something is excellent and praiseworthy, think about these things. These key verses give us very specific things to think on and very specific instructions for how to think. You're not going to remain in peace by just thinking any kind of way. Remember, junk in, junk out. If you allow junky things to get into you, you will have junky thoughts. And from junky thoughts, you will have a life that's full of chaos. You're not going to remain in peace if you don't guard your thoughts and watch the way you think. This verse in Philippians chapter 4, verse 8 says, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, to think on these things. It tells us exactly what to think on, and also it tells us how to think. Isaiah chapter 26, verse 3 says, you keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. Again, this verse tells us how we remain in peace when we keep our minds stayed on the Lord. You see, God and his word are one. When we keep our minds stayed on the word of God, it's an anchor for our peace. Peace comes from God. Peace comes from Christ. And if we're going to remain in peace, we must keep our minds anchored in Christ, and we must keep our minds anchored in the word of God. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 says, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the springs of life. Another translation says, be careful how you think. Your life is shaped by your thoughts. You see, the devil will attack you every day. He won't use a red cape or a pitchfork. He will use your thoughts. He will throw thoughts at you. He will throw thoughts to make you anxious, worried, or afraid. But as a child of God, you must be very intentional to resist those temptations to be anxious, worried, or afraid. Instead, the Bible tells you to keep your mind stayed on the Lord. Keep your mind stayed on the word of God. You will remain in peace as you keep your mind stayed and anchored in the word of God. The man or woman who's going to remain in peace must be very intentional to keep his mind stayed on the word of God. You can't remain in peace by thinking junky thoughts, thinking junky ways. You must allow your mind to be anchored on the word of God. The man who's going to remain in peace must be committed to the word of God. And the second key way to remain in peace is to watch your words. Every day your life is shaped by the words you release out of your mouth. Nothing just happened. Every time you speak, you are releasing words that will shape the course of your life. Words are seeds. Every day the words you sow set the course of your life and also set what will happen. Nothing just happens. Every day when you speak, your words are powerful. Words are a seed. So you must be very intentional about what you're saying. What you're saying every day is shaping the course of your life. In Psalm 23, verse 1, the psalmist said, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not lack. By this verse, the psalmist was declaring he was not going to be worried, he was not going to be in lack because he had put his trust in the Lord. How do you stay in peace? By watching your words and only releasing from your mouth what you expect. The psalmist said the Lord was his shepherd, and because he knew the Lord was his shepherd, he said to himself he was not going to lack. You can declare every day what you want to see happen in your life. You can declare to yourself you're not going to lack, you're not going to be worried or afraid. The man who's going to stay in peace must release words of faith every day. You must speak to yourself. You must release the word of God about your life every day. How do you stay in peace? By using your words carefully to only say the things you expect to see happen in your life. Psalm 91 verse 2, the psalmist said, I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I will trust. Be committed to only speaking that which is in alignment with the word of God. The Lord said, and Jesus is our example as Christians. Jesus said, I only say that which I hear my Father say. He only committed himself to only saying that which he heard from his Father. And how do you live like Jesus? By only saying that which is in alignment with the word of God. How do you stay in peace? By speaking the word of God to yourself daily. By speaking the word of God to your circumstances every day. Declare to your life, declare to your circumstances, it is well with you. Declare what God's word says about you. Declare that you are blessed. Refuse to speak words that are negative. How do you stay in peace? By only declaring what God's word says about you. Third way to stay in peace is to watch your actions. You see, you remain in faith by what you do, not just by your thoughts or by your words. You stay in faith by what you do every day. Your life is affected by the things you do every day. And a man who is in faith guards his actions against God's word. Make sure your actions are in alignment with the word of God. For example, the word of God tells you to be anxious for nothing. You must guard your actions every day to make sure your actions are in alignment to the word of God. Refuse to worry. Refuse to fear. Make sure your actions are always lined up with the word of God. You're going to stay in peace by what you do every day, not just by the way you think or by the words you say, also by what you do every day. Your actions matter. You can choose to stay in faith. You can choose to stay in peace by what you do every day. The Bible says in the book of Romans that peace and joy come from believing. You can choose to believe the word of God by acting on the word of God. The Bible tells you to remain in peace. And that means every day when the enemy throws temptations at you to make you worry, refuse to take the bait of the enemy. Choose to stay in peace. Choose to remain in peace by what you do every day. Refuse to worry. Refuse to be fearful. Choose to remain in peace by acting consistent with the word of God. And 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8 verse 9 says, be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. Resist him, firm in your faith, knowing that the same kinds of sufferings are being experienced by your brotherhood throughout the world. This verse tells you to be watchful, be alert. The enemy prowls around every day. The enemy will attack you. He will bring temptations. He will bring opportunities to make you worry or be anxious. But stand strong in the word of God and refuse to be anxious. Refuse to worry about what you do every day. And the fourth way to stay in peace is to watch who you hang around. Listen, every day you're affected by the people you hang around. If you spend time with people who are fearful and anxious and worried, they will affect you. Nothing just happens. You become what you hang around, and you also become who you hang around. Hang around people who are like-minded, people who are people of faith, people who you want to positively influence your life. The Bible tells you not to be deceived. Evil company corrupts good manners. You are affected every day by what you hang around and also who you hang around. How do you stay in peace? By guarding your circle of influence, watching the people you hang around every day. You are affected every day by the people you hang around. And all that I've shared today has helped you understand how to remain in peace always. You can have peace of mind and remain in peace always if you stay committed to the Word of God and if you anchor your life to the Word of God, to only living by the Word of God and doing what the Word of God tells you to do. I want to say thank you for tuning in with me for another awesome episode of my program. Join me next week for another amazing episode of my program. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel.